the other side. Karibuni sana. Karibu hapa mzee. Yes. Viti ambavyo tumeviandaa hapa kwa mujibu wa kamati. Mabalozi watakaa katika viti hivyo hapo na wajumbe wa bodi pamoja na wakurugenzi watakaa viti hivi hapa mbele. Wageni wengine tutasimama kwa sababu ni shughuli ya muda mfupi sana. Kwa hivyo tunaomba tuvumiliane kwa sababu eneo letu ni dogo kidogo. Mtu asimamie hapo mabalozi, hapa mabodi. Mimi sijui. Mimi naongea tu. Yeah.
Iframe haya maandishi yaonekane. Vipi? Fresh. Yeah. Fresh eh? Joni nimeweka DBT. Eh. Kadi sile pale. Nenda. Kule kwa ima, sogeza idude vitu. Kamera hiyo, kuna nyingine ipo kule, tutaitoa. Lakini hiyo ikimaliza, na hii ikimaliza, zinakimbia kule, wewe ushapita unapajua. Wakimaliza hapa ndio wanaenda kule kuzurura.
Now the guest of honor is already arrived in our exhibition. Your Excellencies, you might sit on those chairs right there. Thank you very much. Tunawakaribisha sasa tukae kwa sababu mgeni rasmi ameshafika. Now we welcome you all now to come and sit. And for those who might stand, you have to stand near closer to us, so we have to start right now. The guest of honor is right here. So it's a good time now we can start our ceremony. May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please? You're welcome. Now the guest of honor is around.
Wageni wake hawajafika.
Haina tatizo.
Yes.
Yes, okay. May I have your attention again? Thank you very much for coming, and now is the time to start. Your Excellencies, Ambassadors, and the Board Chairperson for the National Museums of Tanzania, Mama Ana Abdallah, the guest of honor, Mama Devota Mdachi, the Director General for Tanzania Tourist Board, karibu sana. Na everybody, members of the media, good evening. You're welcome to our official opening of our The Human Evolution Exhibition 2018. And it's our pleasure to have you all now. It's really fantastic for everybody who has come today. Thank you very much for coming. Now I would like to take this opportunity to proceed with the program of opening our exhibition. Karibuni sana mabibi na mabwana, waheshimiwa mabaruzi, pamoja na mgeni rasmi Mama Devota Mdachi, mwenyekiti mkurugenzi wa Bodi ya Utalii Tanzania, pamoja na mwenyekiti wa Bodi ya Makumbusho Tanzania, Mama Ana Abdallah, pamoja na wageni waalikwa wote. Karibuni sana. Sasa ni wakati wa kuanza uzinduzi wa ukumbi wetu wa Chimbuko la Mwanadamu, na Tanzania ni sehemu muhimu sana katika swala zima la historia ya chimbuko la mwanadamu duniani. Kwa hiyo karibuni sana, na tutaanza shughuli yetu sasa. I would like now to welcome the Director General for National Museums of Tanzania, Professor Audax Mabula, to come up and give his word of thanks. Karibu sana, Professor. Makofi tafadhali kwa Professor.
Our guest of honor, Madam Devota Mdachi, CEO of Tanzania Tourist Board, representing Honorable Dr. Hamisi Kigwangalla, Minister for Natural Resources and Tourism. Your Excellency, Felix Koster, Ambassador of Spain in Tanzania, Your Excellencies, Ambassadors and High Commissioners, Mama Ana Abdallah, Chairperson of Board of National Museum of Tanzania, Board Directors of National Museum of Tanzania, Professor Manuel Domingos Rodrigo, from Complutense University, Madrid in Spain, delegate from the Regional Archaeological Museum in Alcalá in Madrid, distinguished guests, members of mass media, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Our guest of honor, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the National Museum of Tanzania and on my own behalf, I'm very pleased to welcome our guest of honor, Madam Devota Mdach, to the National Museum of Tanzania, which is the home of natural and cultural heritage. Likewise, allow me, guest of honor, to welcome all ambassadors and members of the diplomatic corps and invited guests to the official opening of this important exhibition, The Cradle of Humankind in Africa. To our foreign guests, a very warm welcome to Tanzania. Our guest of honor, ladies and gentlemen, this has been an exciting day for us at the National Museum of Tanzania. We are celebrating the official opening of a new permanent exhibition, which I hope you will take time to see it once it is unveiled. The exhibition is divided into 4, but unified sections. As you will see, the first section showcases the Olli hominin footprint trackways that were discovered in 1978 by the famous or world-famous archaeologist, Dr. Mary Leakey. This hominin animal, bird, and raindrop prints were imprinted on a wet layer of volcanic ash and immediately covered by another layer of ash. Scientists believe that these footprints were left by 4 individuals of Australopithecus afarensis. The footprints document the first step towards humanity, that is the emergence of habitual bipedal locomotion in the human lineage about 3.6 million years ago. Our guest of honor, ladies and gentlemen, the second section showcases a fascinating story of being human. Here, remains of our earliest ancestor, Homo habilis and Paranthropus boisei, are unveiled. Also displayed are the earliest stone tools of OLDUVAI tradition and fossilized animal bones with the stone tool cut marks indicating meat eating by these ancestors during 2 million years ago. Our guest of honor, ladies and gentlemen, section 3 presents human ancestors that were fully erect and with large brain size. These are none than Homo erectus. Also exhibited are Homo erectus stone toolkit, that is known as the Acheulean tools, and broadly represented by hand axes, cleavers, bifaces, and picks. Homo erectus were big game hunters and consumed meat during 1.7 million years ago. Most scientists concur that modern humans evolved from Homo erectus. After evolving in Africa around 1.6 million years ago, Homo erectus left Africa for Asia, documenting the first African diaspora. Our guest of honor, ladies and gentlemen, lastly is the section concerning with the emergence of our own species, ourselves, wise men and women, known as Homo sapiens sapiens, with a complex and large brain size and modern behavior. Also represented are their associated stone and bone tools and symbolic revealing objects such as beads and pendants made from ostrich egg and land snail shells. Also, you'll be seeing some red ochre that may have been used for decorative purposes. And sometimes when I'm teaching human evolution, I usually say that the emergence or the origin of cosmetics goes back in Africa around 100,000 years ago. Some of these early African Homo sapiens also left Africa around 100,000 years ago, documenting the second African diaspora. Our guest of honor, ladies and gentlemen, our aspiration is not only to educate the public about the nation's natural and cultural heritage assets, but also to bring the public to the museum to enjoy their heritage assets. After seeing the Cradle of Humankind in Africa, I hope you will agree with me that we are beginning to make some good progress towards this direction. And with your financial support, our next plan is to redesign the history gallery that you see behind there, and later on other galleries. Please help us not to lose the momentum. Our guest of honor, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank a number of individuals and organizations who have made the Cradle of Humankind in Africa possible. First of all, I would like to thank the Regional Archaeological Museum of Madrid, Cosmo Caixa Foundation of Barcelona, the Institute of Human Evolution in Africa, based in Madrid, and colleagues in Spain, such as Professor Manuel Domingos Rodrigo, Enrique Baquedano, Mauricio Anton, Fernandez Jose Mayo, and the OLDUVAI Paleoanthropology and Paleoecology team for their technical, financial, and equipment support. Moreover, my special thanks go to His Excellency, Felix Koster, Ambassador of Spain, the Embassy of Spain in Dar es Salaam, and Twiga Cement Company for their technical and financial support. Also, I would like to thank in advance the Embassy of the People's Republic of China for agreeing to fit in 4 air conditions in the Cradle of Humankind gallery by March this year. All of these individuals and institutions have faith in us, and I hope that they are pleased with the results. Also, I hope that other individuals and institutions will work with us and support the museum to improve other exhibitions. Our guest of honor, ladies and gentlemen, a number of museum individuals have also given their expertise, resources, and time to the exhibition. These are none other than Dr. Agnes Gidina, the curator of this exhibition, and her supporting staff, including Mr. Frank James, Ms. Jasmine Kiyungi, Jemima Richard, Mr. Chance Ezekiel, Mr. Enoch Kihali, Mr. Sexmund Bagash, Mr. Edgar Chatanda, Ms. Maria Sia Tubusius, Ms. Erica Tadeus Mela, Ms. Veronica Mena, and the entire museum team and management. Lastly, but not least, I must register my deep sense of appreciation to our exhibition contractor, Osarico Enterprises Limited, for a very good job. Our guest of honor, ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy your evening, and thank you for helping us to make this event so successful. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you very much, Professor Audax Mabula, the Director General for the National Museums of Tanzania. Now I would like to invite Professor Manuel Domingos to come up on podium and bring in the speech for today. Welcome, Professor.
Well, my colleague, Professor Mabula, has actually said everything that needs to be said. This is a wonderful day. I want to thank all the institutions that are participating in this event. I will say it again, although I just said it in the talk. I'm extremely thankful to the Ministry of Economy and Competition in Spain, who is providing the funding, part of the funding for this research. I'm also thankful to La Caixa, to the University of Alcalá de Henares, to the Institute of Evolution in Africa, to all the various institutions in Spain that one way or another are participating and made this actually possible. And I want to thank again the institutions here in Tanzania, because both Professor Mabula and I represent a new generation of paleoanthropologists. For many years, East Africa has been the cradle of humankind, as the name of this exhibition says, and archaeologists, generation of archaeologists have actually worked here and have actually uncovered a wealth of information about how these early humans were. But there's much more to it than that. Both Professor Mabula and I felt we had the need to leave something durable, something that could actually be shared by everybody and not just paleoanthropologists. And an exhibition is just the perfect way of doing it. It's just our duty. This is just a result of a friendship personalized in the figure of Professor Mabula and myself. We've been working together for 30 years, and it's also the story, is the outcome of a friendship of two countries, two nations, Tanzania and Spain. We both understand that the way in which paleoanthropology has to be operating in Africa now is exactly like that, in true and real partnership of the researchers involved, of the institutions involved, of the countries involved. And this actually is represented as the outcome in the exhibition that you're going to see. This exhibition is the sister exhibition of the one that you can actually see in the Museum of OLDUVAI, in OLDUVAI Gorge, that was inaugurated in October last year by the Vice President herself, and that actually, as I'm told, is sharing quite a success among all the visitors that actually have had an opportunity to see it. So there was a wonderful description of what exactly was intended with this exhibition by Professor Mabula. You will see 4 time lapses in the 4 most important parts of human evolution, starting on how we became human, how we move on, how we evolve into a higher degree of complexity, how we eventually became who we are. And this is done in 4 different rooms. Condensing the key of 2 million years of human evolution is not easy. And I think we've been lucky enough to not only be able to tell the story and to present the fossils, but also to count with the participation of the best artists who made wonderful reconstructions of each of these periods. Now I want you to be aware of one thing. There are several museums in the world that actually have exhibitions on human evolution, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to actually stress why the exhibition in the National Museum in Dar es Salaam and the one in the museum in OLDUVAI Gorge are completely different from the rest. These are the only exhibitions in human evolution in the world that, with the exception of the hominin fossils themselves, the rest of the pieces that you see in the exhibition are true, real fossils and stone tools. These are not cast. So everything that you'll be wondering about, you'll be wondering about by looking at the real pieces themselves. The hominins, for reasons that are obvious, cannot be displayed in public here, but the casts actually are very good quality and very similar to the real thing. You will have a chance to see the most important holotypes and the most important fossils of this story, this 2 million year story of human evolution. And you will see an opportunity to have the text condensing the main features of this story. And at the end, you will also have the opportunity to see this coming alive into the wonderful representations made by the paleo artist Mauricio Anton. So I will take this opportunity just to thank again everybody involved. Very special thanks for the continued support that we are receiving from the Spanish Embassy and the figure of the ambassador here. And also very special thanks to Twiga for having participated in this endeavor and having made this exhibition possible. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy it.
So the exhibition is containing a lot of original exhibits. So in the casual language, we call it an OG. Asante sana. Now it's my pleasure to invite His Excellency Felix Koster, the Ambassador of Hispania in Tanzania. Karibu sana.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming. Of course, it's a very exciting day for us and for the National Museum of Tanzania. I would like to thank the guest of honor, Madame Devota Mdashe, for being here with us today, this evening. I don't want to be long because, I mean, we are here to see the exhibition, and I think that those of us that listened to the presentation of Professor Manuel Dominguez Rodrigo before and now, he is the expert on this. But I think that this exhibition is important for reasons that I want to point out. I would like to point out very briefly. First of all, because of course it underlines yet again the importance that Tanzania plays in the history of human evolution. And also because it underlines yet again the importance that Spanish researchers play as being at the forefront of the research in the history of human evolution. And I would like to take this opportunity to also underline that Spain is one of the richest countries in Europe. Well, we have the oldest remains of human presence in the Western Europe in the Atapuerca site. And that is also a site of tremendous importance in paleontology. Well, it's also, secondly, because I think, as it has been mentioned, it has been a collaborative effort, between many institutions, Spanish institutions, Universidad Complutense de Madrid, the Archaeological Regional Museum of Madrid, Cosmo Caixa of Barcelona, that is maybe the most important Spanish institution in the outreach for scientific findings and in culture, in promoting culture, science culture in Spain. So, these are very important partners, and it's good and it's welcome for all of us that they are teaming with the National Museum of Tanzania in this exhibition. It's important, evidently, to the National Museum of Tanzania because they have the content, and so far they didn't have a permanent exhibition on the most important archaeological, Pleistocene paleontological site in Tanzania, OLDUVAI Gorge. So I think that we have to congratulate all of us. It's important for the museum, for the permanent exhibition, and also because we believe that it will help raising the level of museography in the National Museum of Tanzania. We know that we have limited resources, and we try to make the best with the resources that we have, but I believe that this exhibition, this permanent exhibition, is going to be a turning point in the quality of museography in Tanzania. Professor Manuel also pointed out the newly opened OLDUVAI Museum in October 2017, that of course has paved the way to this new museography in Tanzania. So this is something that I would like to stress very much. And today also important for the city of Dar es Salaam because I believe that the Ministry of it's unfortunate, the Ministry of Tourism and Natural Resources have been working in trying to promote Dar es Salaam as a tourist destination. And I think that the importance of the materials, the character of these materials being original, because this cannot be sufficiently stressed, will go a long way in making, a contribution to make Dar es Salaam a true tourist destination in the Tanzania tourist circuit. So we are happy for this. And finally, I don't want to be too long. We have to express our gratitude, of course, to Professor Mabula, to Agnes Guida, the curator also of the exhibition, and the driving force of this exhibition here, to the board of the museum, to Twiga, to Alfonso Vélez, the Director General here with us. He has helped us to finance the setting up of this exhibition, and all the people that have been working and supporting our efforts in moving forward and raising the level of culture in Dar es Salaam and in Tanzania. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite the chairperson for the Board of National Museums of Tanzania, Mama Anna Abdallah, tafadhali, karibu sana. Makofi tafadhali kwa mama.
Ndugu mgeni rasmi, Mama Devota Mdachi, Mheshimiwa Balozi wa Spain, Mheshimiwa Profesa Manueli, mabalozi mlioko hapa, wageni wetu, mabibi na mabwana, niwashukuruni nyote kwa kuhudhuria sherehe hii fupi, sijui itakuwa ndefu lakini fupi nafikiri, ya ufunguzi wa makumbusho ya kudumu wa chimbuko la binadamu. Nimefurahi sana kwamba mgeni rasmi Mama Devota, yeye ni mkurugenzi mkuu, mtendaji mkuu wa shirika la utalii Tanzania. Na hiki ni kivutio cha watalii hapa Dar es Salaam. Kwa hiyo ni matumaini yangu kwamba kuwepo kwako hapa kutafungua njia ya ratiba za watu wote ambao kazi yao ni kupokea na kuwatembeza watalii wakiwa Dar es Salaam wasikose. Yaani katika matangazo yenu yote iseme mahali pa kuona Dar es Salaam cha kwanza iwe makumbusho ya taifa, kuona jambo hili la chimbuko la binadamu. Hiyo itatusaidia kama alivyosema balozi kwamba Dar es Salaam hapa kuna watalii wengi, lakini sijui mpaka waende baharini wakaogelee, sijui mpaka wakaone nini, wakutane na watu wengine, sijui wamevaa nini, ndio aseme kumbe wakija hapa wataiona Tanzania mkononi, tena sio Tanzania tu, dunia katika kiganja chao. Kwa hiyo ni matumaini yangu kwamba ratiba zenu zote za watalii wanaopita Dar es Salaam zionyeshe na ziwaombe watu wote wafike, na watalii wao wanajua huko kama nikifika Dar nisikose kwenda kwenye makumbusho ya taifa. Kwa hiyo mimi nimefurahi sana kwa kuwepo kwako. Hotuba ya balozi, hotuba ya Profesa Manueli, hotuba ya Profesa Mabula imewataja watu wa kuwashukuru. Wote wamefanya kazi nzuri. Tunawashukuru sana, sana, sana. Mimi kwa niaba ya baraza la wadhamini naomba kuwashukuruni nyote mliosaidia kwa namna moja au nyingine kutufikishia makumbusho yetu katika hivi ilivyo. Mpaka leo tunasema sasa hiki ni kituo kikuu cha utalii hapa Dar es Salaam. Nawashukuruni sana sana. Sitapenda kusema mengi, maana najua wanataka kukusikiliza mgeni rasmi, lakini kubwa wanataka kwenda kuona makumbusho. Kwa hiyo mimi kazi yangu ni kukushukuru. Kwanza ni kukaribishe ili uzungumze na wote waliofika hapa kukusikiliza, alafu tufungulie makumbusho yetu ambayo kila mtu anataka kuyaona. Asanteni sana na karibuni.
Asante sana mama. Thank you very much. Now I would like to invite the guest of honor, Mama Devota Mdachi, to come upon and give her speech, and later on we'll be given the directions on how we'll be opening our exhibition. Karibu sana.
A point of correction, MC. It's not my speech. It's a speech which was supposed to be read by the minister Honorable King Angwala. Audience, please allow me to deliver my speech in English for the advantage of our guests who are coming from Spain and other countries. Your Excellency, Mr. Felix Koster, Ambassador of Spain in Tanzania. Your Excellencies, Ambassadors and High Commissioners, Honorable Anna Abdallah, Chairperson, Board of Directors, National Museum of Tanzania, Board of Directors of the National Museum of Tanzania, Professor Audax Mabula, Director General, National Museum of Tanzania, Professor Manuel Domingos Rodrigo, Complutense University, Madrid, Spain, delegates from the Regional Archaeological Museum, Alcalá, Madrid, Spain, members of the press, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. On behalf of the Minister of Natural Resources and Tourism, Dr. Hamisi Kigangwala, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all for joining us this evening as we come together to witness the opening of this permanent exhibition, which has been named the Cradle of Humankind in Africa. A very warm welcome to Professor Manuel Domingos Rodrigo. Excuse me for the pronunciation. And for his delegation, who have traveled all the way from Madrid, Spain, to join us today as we witness the opening of this permanent exhibition. On behalf of my minister, I feel greatly honored by your presence. Ladies and gentlemen, the Cradle of Humankind in Africa permanent exhibition is a journey that takes you back in time and gives us an impressive knowledge about the emergency and development of humanity from our early ancestors who lived in Tanzania nearly 4 million years ago to modern Homo sapiens who evolved 200,000 to 150,000 years ago. This innovative exhibition combines discoveries in the fossil and archaeological records to explore the most profound mysteries of humankind, who we are, where we come from, and what is in store for the future of our species. The Cradle of Humankind in Africa explores human biology and anatomy, traces the path of human evolution, and examines the origins of human culture and creativity. Some of the most striking displays are panoramas showing the reconstructions from fossils and other evidence of what our ancestors probably looked like. These panoramas, made by Mauricio Anton, a Spanish paleoartist, shows each species of our ancestor in its habitat, demonstrating the behaviors and capabilities that scientists think it had. Ladies and gentlemen, as some of us might be aware, Tanzania is well known for her spectacular fossil and archaeological discoveries, especially in the search for human origins, where research by many scientists in this region has produced remarkable discoveries which contribute to a better understanding of human origins in Africa. Tanzania is the only country in the world that represents the most complete and important stages of human biological and cultural evolution, dated more than 2 million years ago to the present in one place, that is OLDUVAI Gorge. Also, it is at OLDUVAI Gorge where the first representative of our own genus, Homo, classified as Homo habilis, and the oldest stone tool technology were discovered. Furthermore, it is only at OLDUVAI Gorge that remains of our two early ancestors coexisted in time and space. These were found in the same level and in direct associations with stone tools and fossil bones of animals dated to about 2 million years ago. Ladies and gentlemen, the Laitoli site has yielded a trail of footprints that were left by 4 individuals of our earliest ancestors, which were assigned to the species. There are also footprints of animals and birds. The trough holding the footprints have been dated of about 3.6 million years ago. The Laetoli hominin footprints are the only undistributed evidence in the world documenting the origin of human habitat, walking erect on 2 feet. These findings will prompt researchers and the public alike to refer Tanzania as the cradle of humankind and OLDUVAI Gorge as a mecca for paleoanthropologists. It is from this point of view that one American professor declared that there is no spot on earth where fascinating and more deeply significant for a better understanding of the origin and development of the humanity than Tanzania, and in particular, OLDUVAI Gorge and Laetoli sites. These 2 sites are our window for emergency of our humanity and our ancestors' interactions with landscapes and their environment from about 4 million years ago for about 4 million years ago. Yet there are other places in this country with similar cultural heritage, preserved though not to the same level and age. These later sites document the emergence of our own species, Homo sapiens, the beginning of our modern human behaviors, the beginning of human imaginations, as shown by the rock paintings of Kondoa, the origin of food domestication, the emergence of iron technology, and human interaction through trade and contacts within the world. And just like the ambassador said, humankind started in Tanzania. So all Tanzanians should be proud that mankind began in Tanzania. The Cradle of Humankind exhibition aims at educating and raising public awareness and understanding of who we are and where did we come from. It also showcases the processes of how and when did we become humans. After all, we all are Africans. Even people from Spain should consider themselves Africans. More importantly, the exhibition will stimulate young Tanzanians to become scientists, not only in pathology, archaeology, and earth sciences, but also in genetics and biochemistry. Surely, the Cradle of Humankind in Africa is a unique platform for contested and uncontested discussions between scientists, educators, decision makers, and the public about the emergence and development of humanity. Ladies and gentlemen, I am told that we are going to witness here today could not have happened if it were not for the efforts made by many individuals and institutions. On behalf of the Ministry of Natural Resources and Tourism, I sincerely express my gratitude to Professor Manuel Dominguez Rodrigo. I hope I got it right this time. Yes. Of Complutense University Madrid, Dr. Enrique Baquedano, Director of Regional Archaeological Museum of Alcalá, Madrid, Spain, the OLDUVAI Paleoanthropology Project, Cosmocaixa Museum and Cosmocaixa Bank, Barcelona, Mauricio Anton, Your Excellency Felix Castilles, and the Embassy of Spain in Tanzania, Twiga Cement, Ngorongoro Conservation Area Authority, the Department of Antiquities, our friends from the media, TBC1, ITV, Azam TV, and many others for supporting and facilitating this very important exhibition. And in this regard, may I call upon other embassies and high commissions in Tanzania, the public and private sector to collaborate with the National Museum of Tanzania in researching, conserving, and exhibiting the natural and cultural heritage of our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, I see this occasion to be one of the most important core functions of any museums in the world. I sincerely hope and believe that the National Museum of Tanzania will ensure that this exhibition is sustainably maintained for the present and for future generations. Tanzania is rich and diversified in culture and heritage, some of which outstanding universal values and therefore are World Heritage Sites. The government of the United Republic of Tanzania, through the Ministry of Natural Resources and Tourism, promotes sustainable use of these heritage assets for education, enjoyment, social economic development, and eradication of poverty. I sincerely do believe that the Cradle of Humankind in Africa not only meets the government's expectations of sustainable use of the nation's cultural and natural heritage, but also brings us together to reflect on humanity's future and to get a better picture of our shared past, a past that can inspire us to work together towards a shared future. I wish to assure Madam Chair, as the Managing Director of the Tanzania Tourist Board, that we will put this exhibition on the world map. We will encourage tourists when they come to Tanzania. They should start in Dar es Salaam and not go to Arusha, because once they're here, they can see it all. They will see where they came from. And after all, we are all Africans. Ladies and gentlemen, with these few remarks, I now have the honor, should I? To declare the Cradle of Humankind in Africa officially open. Karibuni sana.
Thank you very much. And some other researchers, they have said that we are 99.9% the same. Now, the guided tour, there is a ribbon here. It will be cut by the guest of honor. But the first round for the guided tour, it will be for the excellencies, invited guests, and the members of the corps. And then the second one will be taken for students and other invited guests. So tafadhali tuache mabalozi na wageni walikuwa rasmi waingie, watembezwe, alafu wengine watafuata. And we have to wait, you have to wait for the media people to come in front so they take the good records. No, let's wait. And now, you are welcome. Karibu sana, makofi yawe mengi. The ribbon is now, yep. And cut. Piga makofi mengi sana. Karibu sana. Dr. Agnes Gidna will take you for the guided tour with inside the exhibition. Tunaomba waheshimiwa mabalozi na wageni waalikwa waingie kwanza, wengine tusubiri, wanafunzi tusubiri round ya pili, na wageni wengine chumba ni kidogo. So we will have to take the invited guests, the excellencies, ambassadors, the board members to come inside now for the first round, and the second round will be announced later. Karibuni sana. Tafadhali. Karibu sana. Your excellencies, ambassadors, and the board members, karibuni sana. The first round of guided tour is for the excellencies, ambassadors, and the board members of the Museum of Tanzania. Karibuni sana. Your excellencies, you're welcome. Karibu sana. Yes, directors. The first round is for the excellencies, directors, and the board members of the National Museum of Tanzania. And then the second round will be announced. Karibuni sana. Tunaomba Sevuri mfungue mic ya guided tour ya mtembeza wageni. Wireless mic should have to be on now. Yes. All the members of the diplomats, you have to come now for the first round.
Okay. Welcome to our exhibition. Yes, welcome to our exhibition.
Okay, karibu sasa Dr. Agnes, tafadhali.
Our exhibition is divided like this. Okay, our exhibition is divided in 4 parts. We will start with the first part, and the first session is here. We are looking on the very spectacular panorama here, explaining about the early evidence we have in Tanzania on human evolution. What we have here is the late Olli footprint, dating to 3.6 million years ago. And this is very important to our humanity. It explains the early stages of human when they start walking by using two limbs. And this is the first panorama or the first reconstruction for thousands of years, because when you come across with other reconstruction, you can just find like 3 individuals walking. But now with the recent research we saw, we have a new finding or discoveries that there were 4 individuals of the same age. And this is the only evidence we have in the world. It's found in Tanzania. And what you see here is what happened in 3.6 or 4 million years ago. There was volcano and volcanic eruption, and the ashes covers the landscape. After a few minutes, then it dries and it rains. And the rain added some water on the landscape, and it became wet. So our ancestors, animal you saw on them, walk leaving behind the footprints. And another volcano erupted to cover the layer of the footprint. That is why we discover it preserved well. So this is very important because in our humanity, because the detail of the footprint left behind is exactly the same as the modern human. The detail you left is exactly the same as the detail left by 3.6 million years ago. This is why we are saying this is the early evidence of modern bipedalism. And this is important for our humanity to explain the evidence we have and to explain our own humanity. Apart from footprint, we have some part of this individual. The early humans, we have the mandible of the same individual that left the footprint on the site. Having this piece, it is important because we will know their diet. They were eating hard food according to their teeth. We have some evidence of their diet. But also we have another specimen from South Africa. It is almost the same with the species we have in Tanzania. This is from South Africa, but it is very important to showcase here because it opened the door to African sites. In the beginning, before they discovered this, everybody knows that human evolution started in Asia. No one was thinking about Africa. But in 1924, when they discovered this, then many scientists went to South Africa, and then it opens the door to East Africa and then Tanzania. So again, we are showing other fossils that were found in Lake Olli. This is the rhino scar, but it is important that these dangerous animals were together with the early humans, living together. So this is the first part of our exhibition, and we will go to our second part of our exhibition. And this is about OLDUVAI Gorge, 2 million years ago. This is of big interest. It is very important for our humanity. It is where we saw the early human behaviors. Look on the panorama. You can see the environment. That is how OLDUVAI was look like 2 million years ago. You can see the animals that were there. You can see the trees and the activities that were done by our early humans. But the most important thing, you can also see the animals that were present 2 million years ago. As a scientist or for educational purpose, it is not just enough to know that is wildebeest or that is rhino or that is kind of animal, but we need to know how these animals come to the site. What are they doing? Who brought them there? And we have the evidence that this animal you saw here, in 2 million years ago, they were the menu of our early ancestors. Now we can see the fossils of the ancestors I'm talking about in 2 million years ago. We have the most important specimen, Zingianthropus boisei. It's here. This is very important, and when it was found, it was the only skull, and many pages were written about the early humans and the first human in Africa. And you can actually see plenty of Homo habilis, which were also found in OLDUVAI Gorge and coexisted with Paranthropus boisei. Look, this is the only country where you found Homo habilis in this number. There are many. And being many, that means we are confident to know and to explain how these individuals were look like, what they were doing, how they live, and the stone tools they use to deflesh the meat they eat. Look here. This is the early technology we are talking about. The technology we are using of using a pen or a computer, whatever, started around 2 million years ago when our ancestors started to modify nature. They started to modify tools to get food. And we have the evidence that these tools were used to break the bones you see here. Look here, the bones of different animals that were eaten by our ancestors. And here, what you see are the bones of different animals. And it is only human. That is the human behavior. They take food home. We get these fossils in the site. They are not going to eat somewhere like other animals, but as a human nature, they brought food home. So these are the modern buffaloes. But you can look how 2 million years ago buffaloes look like. They were big in size as you saw them. And this is the original specimen. You can actually see the other animals that were not present now, but